All right, Joe Walker here, Yonah Mountain Farms. It is June 17th, 2025. I am here in the cattle chute, but today it is actually a sheep chute. So basically what we're doing today is giving all these sheep and lambs a bolus. And what exactly is a bolus? A bolus is one of these guys. So these are minerals. So what we have here is cobalt, zinc, iodine, and selenium. And we also have this one, All Guard U bolus, which is the same thing but with copper. So sheep are susceptible to copper toxicity. We have given the ewes this in the past, and I did notice some runny butts, diarrhea afterwards. So this time we're skipping the copper. So basically that's what these capsules are. These are empty now, but they're essentially the same as the lamb bolus without copper. So this is what's inside that capsule. 2 of these, a little bit smaller, plus these copper particles. So what we are doing is emptying out. So for the larger ewes, so yeah, we're opening these up, dumping the copper particles out, and then using a bolus gun, this right here, we stick the bolus in the end, shove this down their throat, squeeze, and they swallow it. So this bolus is actually, let's see if I can show you one here. So it's actually like a piece of metal, and it is literally cobalt, zinc, iodine, and selenium. And these are essential elements that these sheep need to fight off parasites, to be more resistant to hoof rot, and just for overall general health. So these aren't any kind of pharmaceuticals. This isn't a drug. These are, don't know what's up with that, but these are actual, elements. And so they go in the rumen, they stay in the rumen, and then they're slowly released over a period of about 6 months before we have to give them another one. And while we're here, so it's also actually time to wean. So this big fella is one of the 2 rams that was in there, and these 2 smaller guys are lambs that we will process. So we're going to separate, or 3 smaller guys, I'm sorry. One's kind of hiding behind the big dude. But we should have a few more males. These girls have already received their bolus. So we're separating all the males so that we don't have winter births. We've had a real hard time controlling lambing. It's just mainly covered up, so much to do, and we have had a lot of winter births over the years, and we lose a lot because of that. They just don't fare as well when the lamb drops in the middle of the winter. So we're actually, it's June now, so everybody's bred. They've actually been lambing here lately, which is fine this time of year. But we're pulling the rams so that nobody else gets pregnant any later than now. And that way there won't be any winter births. And then we're going to put the rams back in December. The ewe's gestation period is about 5 months. So pulling them out now, where we're at June, we got July, August, September, October, November. So we shouldn't have any births after November, which will be fantastic. So anyhow, I'm going to set this up and see if we can get some bolus administration in action. Okay, so it looks like the next one in line is an older, larger ewe. Let's see if I can get that to stay there. And so we're going to take one of these U-guard boluses. We're going to open it up. Pour the copper out. And here we're just going to dump the whole thing into here. And so what we're left with is the cobalt, zinc, iodine, and selenium. So we load these into our Bolus gun. And I actually got this from Sweet Shrub Farm there in Carrollton, Georgia. A guy named Ryan Ayres. He's got some beautiful stock down there. We wanted to get a ram from him this past year, but he's a little far. Nobody wants to spend that long in the truck, and plus it worked out well because we actually, something that he does is what he calls, I think he calls it like a parasite bomb, but he basically locks his rams into an area to where they're going to be exposed to parasites, does fecal checks. Whoever passes means they're parasite resistant, and he sells those as breeding stock. So we actually did something real similar without nearly as many rams as he's got. But last year, when I separated the rams, I took them to a different farm, and actually a couple of them did get wormy, all except for one. So the one that didn't get wormy is that guy in the pen over there. So that's the reason why we kept him, to breed the rest of our stock. But anyhow, I got the Bolus gun loaded, about to grab a sheep, this big ewe at the end, and give her the Bolus. Give her a little pet, make sure you hear that swallow. And then we're gonna open this gate. And she can go out with the rest of the ewes. So that's this is pretty much the only time we actually work the ewes. And this is just to make sure they get these essential nutrients, or these minerals. We want to make sure, I guess these are elements, metals, obviously. But anyhow, this is it. So this is what the sheep get, the bolus, and then we give them free choice sea salt. That usually stays on pasture with them at all times. Other than that, they get whatever's growing in the pasture and hay. So once I separate all these lambs, I'll get a count and we'll know how many we're going to process around December, maybe November, in time for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And we'll be probably taking custom orders if anybody wants any 100% forage only, no drugs, no chemicals. Domestic lamb, which is a rarity here in the United States. Anyhow, thanks for watching. I'm going to get back to work.